Hey, are you guys tired of the government chipping away at your self-defense rights? Well, you can do something about it and become a member of San Diego County Gun Owners. We make activism easy. Join today. Go to SDCGO.org/join and sign and become a member today. Hey, welcome Lee. Moiseve.
Moiseve.
I like Moiseve, but we'll call you what you want.
Fair enough.
He's from Barely Training, and he is our special co-host today. We also have Adam Kraut. He's the executive director of the Second Amendment Foundation. How you doing, Adam?
I'm great. How are you?
Been doing radio before?
Yeah, kind of.
Time or two?
Not live radio. Well, in a studio, but yes.
Yeah, we don't do none of this canned stuff. It's never any fun at all. So we're going to have a lot of fun talking to you about our Second Amendment Foundation, because that's a full-time battle all in itself.
Jeez, every
Yes,
day.
sir.
Are you not kidding me? Well, that's ridiculous. Hey, don't forget, get your prom tickets at gunprom.com and join for casino night. If you feel lucky, you might even win a gun or two. There's going to be tables supporting causes, self-defense rights, enjoying a fun night with the best people in Southern California. We've got 2 segments with Adam, so boy, get your questions out. We're not going to answer them, but you can listen and have fun with it anyway.
Get them out in your brain.
Yeah, we're not opening the mics for nobody. Nobody pays that much money. But also, we're going to sit here, and Alicia's got a curtain call.
I do.
I know you sent it to me. I haven't read it, but you sent it to me.
I actually think it's going to be for future week.
Oh, you're not going to do it?
I sent you a little sneak preview.
You sure?
Yeah.
So how come you're not? I thought you were training today.
Plans changed.
Oh, plan change?
Yep.
Okay. By the way, did you go to the gun show?
I did.
Escondido?
I did. Did you?
No. You won't believe it. I completely forgot.
I do believe it.
I went and got my lawnmower.
What'd you get?
No, I got it fixed.
Oh.
I went and got them. I had it. They had it so long, I did go buy another one. That's how bad it was. But I heard it was well attended.
For the duration of time I was there, it was pretty packed and busy. It was nice.
And I heard today, I had a guy go yesterday to go buy ammo, and he forgot his passport.
Oh, and he didn't have a real ID?
Yeah, so he went back up today, and he said it had more people there today than yesterday.
Oh, great.
Actually, I heard all week people saying they're going to go on Sunday.
Yeah,
So,
a
A lot of people I heard, I was talking to
I think
said
it's
the
because
same.
they're doing family stuff on
Yeah,
Saturday.
probably
and
so.
Sunday's the day to roll in after the afternoon,
Yeah, and he was thrilled. He just went up there mainly for ammo.
Yeah.
But he must. I guess there must have been like not symposiums, but some talks, because he was discussing that he didn't realize. I should read the text. What the problem was, and he says, I don't know. He says, what can I do? What can I do? This is join San Diego County Gun Owners. It's $10 a month,
That's the crazy. I tell that to people all the time.
and they look at you like, really? I can do that? And I said, if you really want to be, top drawer, become a 10 ringer, $100 a month, and you'll get all kinds of fun stuff. You get to go to, all kinds of events, shooting socials.
I always tell people too, I mean, everything you do is either money and time, right? If you don't have any money, you sure got time.
Isn't that the truth? By the way, Leah's with Barely Training, and since this is only your second time in, kind of give us a little synopsis on what is Barely Training.
Firearms training company. We do everything from beginner fundamentals to high-speed CQC, CQB, operator standards, all kinds of stuff.
Okay, now back up.
Night vision, we got it.
Tell us what all those initials stand for the people that don't
CQC
know.
is close quarters combat.
Okay.
CQB is close quarters battle. Just same thing, just
Okay.
different ways of saying it.
What makes you stand out amongst the competition, would you say?
Oh, geez. I think my motto says it all. It's have fun, train hard. I try to make the classes as fun as possible.
And that's what I was dragging out of you.
Yeah.
Because that is 99% of it. I know Alicia does the same. Because if you're not having fun, you're not.
Yeah. If you're fun, you're gonna mind. You're gonna you're gonna look at your watch and be, how can I get out of here? What's the fastest I can do, and what's on the way to food?
What's backup? How long does it take to get into one of your classes?
I got the whole summer scheduled on the website, so you can jump in there and pick anyone
So
you
you're
want.
not booked solid?
Nope.
What about you, Alicia?
Same.
Yeah.
Same. I do mainly private instruction. So
okay.
as far as my time allotment, mine's more private. I am pretty, I'm booked about 2 weeks out. So beyond 2 weeks, you can usually
That's
get me.
not too bad.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's not too bad. So, but the training, I mean, we can sit here and just say training for the next 2 hours, and it won't be enough.
Yeah. Yep. And no one will do it.
Why do you suppose that is?
Because it's too easy to do by yourself,
Well,
it's too easy to just go to the range, pick it up, and go blam, blam, blam.
Isn't that
And that works, and I get it. But
isn't that like doing your own dentistry?
Can't
I mean, really, when you come right down to it,
yeah.
I mean, because you don't really know
Yeah.
what you think you don't know, what you
Absolutely.
don't know.
It's like doing your own taxes without using a computer. Good luck. You know?
Yeah, right. Well, that's
Yeah, someone can try it, someone get a shot, but I bet you they're doing it wrong.
yeah. And boy, oh boy, if you do it wrong, you'll know it's being done wrong.
Yep.
Well, the training thing is so. What's your expertise? What makes you a good trainer?
Geez, I've just been around. I guess you could say it. Military, law enforcement, training classes. I've just thirst for knowledge, and I try and turn it around and show everyone what I got.
So you didn't think I was going to ask you all those questions, did you?
I didn't. I wasn't ready.
Well, does this look
I
like
was trying to follow. Show
you're looking
notes.
for that script again?
You know what I? You know how I
didn't
do.
learn from last week?
No, I did. That's
But didn't
why-
we have fun last week?
We did. We had a lot of fun.
Well,
I have fun every time.
Well, and see, that's what it's all about. Rich does a really good job putting all these 37 pages together.
He does.
Following it's not quite as easy.
Yeah.
But my whole idea is getting people engaged, getting them, just like when you and Alicia both in your training.
Yeah.
You guys don't go in there, okay, this is a gun. It has bullets. You put the bullet. Yeah.
Yeah.
You guys break it up. You find out what your audience is. What kind of people are you dealing with?
Conversations. If you turn into conversations, it's not listening to a lecture.
I know.
Have that conversation, and then their questions spark more, and we go down rabbit holes. And
Because you
they
don't
learn
know
a lot.
because one thing I've noticed, you're not a canned training.
No.
You go according to who you're talking to.
Right. Yeah. Change your speech to your audience.
Yeah. You get very many old timers coming in for a refresher,
Yeah.
or is it mainly new kids or new people?
It's all over the place, to be honest. I've got some old retired Marine Corps guys that are just now training with me, and they're like, "Man, when I was in," and I was like, "I know."
Does that make you a little nervous?
No,
with
it's
those
just
old
like,
guys?
well, I mean, things have advanced pretty far since then. Like not only in training, but gear, and they're coming in with Velcro flak jackets. And I'm just like, yeah, oh yeah, 100%.
They come in with a Velcro flag. Oh my
Yeah,
God.
he's like, it's all I had. I'm like, hey, let's use it.
right.
Use what you got.
It's not that you had to.
Yeah.
Hopefully, you don't need a flak jacket.
No. But they want to train that way.
Well, it's funny. I should have brought my book because we're going to have Sam the Gunman on in the last segment.
Yeah.
Well, I'm reading a book called it's a sniper book from the 1980s,
Oh, really?
and it's the same guy that wrote the book Point of Impact for the
Oh,
movie,
yeah.
and he's bringing up all these different guns.
Yeah, I read a couple of his books.
Yeah. He's an interesting writer.
Yeah.
He likes to do two stories in the same.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have a little hard time catching up to him.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I know. Look at this. Our boy here, Adam, he's on the edge of his chair. So we probably should go ahead and take a break and get him off the ground as quickly as we possibly can, huh? What do
Get
you
him
think?
going.
And we're being attacked by a Twinkie. Dude, did you drive over this Twinkie? It's been flat.
No comment.
Holy moly, look at the ingredients.
Don't do that. You ruin it.
Go ahead, Lee. Read off all the ingredients on a Twinkie.
I don't think there's any natural anything. in
No,
here.
I don't think so.
You know, they say cockroaches and Twinkies are going to survive the apocalypse.
Yeah, I
right?
think you're
But you know what's
absolutely-
funny? It makes me think of Zombieland. You know how they didn't expire, but this one clearly states that it expires in like a month.
What? When did you buy these? 1957?
Just this morning, I was thinking of you.
July 21st, 2020.
Jeez. Hey, if you ever have legal problems that involves firearm, well, you really need the best firearms lawyer, and that means John Dillon. John Dillon specializes in California gun law, so put his number on your phone right now. 760-642-7150. That's John Dillon, California firearms lawyer. 760-642-7150. Put his number on your phone right now. All right. Finally, we got Adam Kraut. How you doing, Adam?
I'm great.
So tell us all about Second Amendment Foundation. What do you guys do?
Well, we are a 501c3, known for our litigation mainly, but we are a legal and educational nonprofit. Started in 1974, been around for quite a while. Yeah. To date, involved in over 260 lawsuits during our time. Not all of them were our lawsuits, but as far as legal stuff, currently have over 55 active cases. And as this morning, I was actually at the gun show and I did speak there. I think we have 15 active cases here in California.
Wow.
Yeah.
So what do you do for the foundation? Are you a lawyer?
Can I plead the fifth on that one?
Sure you go.
Yes, I am a lawyer.
Okay.
And I'm the executive director there.
Oh,
so.
that even helps. Okay, then that's where we'll get our check. When you do these lawsuits, I mean, there's so much insanity out there. How do you choose what to go after and what not to go after?
That's the question we get all the time. So there are two ways, the way I like to describe our legal program and strategy on this. So there is strategic litigation, and that's where we as an organization sit and look at what the map kind of looks like and how the world is and how do we want to shape it, and then figure out a strategy to get from A to B on that. So a lot of the cases that you see are the culmination of planning, and then further downstream you see another block being added to that planning. So if you look at how things have just been done in the litigation world of the Second Amendment stuff, there are very calculated steps being taken as to, we know we can go from A to B here, but we can't go that far yet until we get this kind of decision. And then there's what I like to call opportunistic litigation. It's where somebody sends an email, calls in, say, hey, I have this problem. And we listen, okay, do a little more research into them, and then take a look, and is there a public benefit, not just for that individual, but more broader implications for the public at large? And those are cases that we'll also pick up. So they don't always necessarily fit 100% into that strategic plan, but we see that there is an avenue to get a win in something that does affect Second Amendment rights for people.
Isn't that kind of like how you establish case law?
Yes, that's exactly how case law gets established.
Okay.
Yep.
Or if you like somebody calls in and all of a sudden you realize this guy needs help, and we can't put this on the back burner. We got to try to get to it as quickly as we can.
It depends what it is. So a lot of times you get inquiries about, hey, I got arrested for X, and unfortunately, getting arrested for X isn't necessarily the thing that we can help with, unless there sometimes is an angle. But usually that's where you need a criminal defense attorney, or plug John Dillon here for a moment. Somebody like John Dillon to give you a talk to and advise you as to what the steps could be. But there are times where people have been convicted in the past of some kind of crime and are prohibited, and we look at that and say, okay, well, generally speaking, like a non-violent misdemeanor. So this particular person's situation may be specific to them, but that non-violent misdemeanor or general, that category affects a large swath of people. So we've had a couple lawsuits where we had brought a case that challenged that kind of stuff, and that had broader implications for the public at large, as well as the individual, that their particular rights were being violated.
Interesting.
Yeah. So consequently, you strive on donations and people providing to this foundation. So I mean, whether you want to say it or not, it's extremely important for you to have the funding, because let's face it, litigation is not cheap.
Money makes the world go round. Yes, and litigation is not cheap.
And the other side takes our money and uses it against us.
I said that exact same thing earlier today. You're 100% right.
That's plagiarism. He's a lawyer. He'll know.
Yeah.
Oh, no, I didn't do it.
I think some royalty payments are going to be due. But
yeah, I'm sure.
No, I mean, that's a really good point. You have a legislature that passes laws. You're all taxpayers, I presume, anyway.
Yeah, absolutely.
And so when they pass an unconstitutional law that gets challenged by a group that you fund, whether it's the Second Amendment Foundation or San Diego County Gun Owners, which we have partnered with, we have 6 lawsuits together, your dollars are kind of being handed out to both parties, one through your taxes, where it's going to defend the unconstitutional law, and then one to the organizations that are challenging it. And that can be certainly frustrating, because you're paying to kind of fight yourself in some ways.
But the beauty of it is, I can choose to give you money.
Yes.
Yeah.
I can't choose to give money to the government, who's going to try to, take something away or restrict, or any of the above.
Well, you can choose. The result just might not be what you want.
I don't look good in orange, okay? I don't think I've ever looked good in orange.
Can you imagine if we could choose where our taxes went? We'd have the best roads in the world.
Wouldn't it be the truth?
Geez.
I mean, because then they would really put money into the roads.
Yeah.
Instead of saying they're putting money into the roads. Yeah. And look what our schools would be like.
Oh, yeah.
I know, we could reinvent the world.
If only people had a say in politics.
Yeah. Funny thing.
Oddly enough, yeah.
Well, I think somebody did that a while back, but that's another story. Are you seeing more and more problems in the future, or do you see a light at the end of the tunnel?
You know, that's something that I've thought about a great deal, and I think that there's never going to be a light at the end of the tunnel, so to say. There's always going to be progress forward, but those who want to restrict rights are never going to stop. So no matter how much progress we make, and even if there was an ultimate, this is the world that the Second Amendment covers, and it was spelled out that a 3-year-old could understand it, you're always going to have that fight. Now, is it that to say it's always going to be bleak and that there's no winning? No, absolutely not.
No,
but
no.
there is going to be a constant attempt from people who want to restrict rights to restrict rights, and whether it's in this context or any number of other contexts. So I guess the answer to that question is it's getting better. It certainly has gotten better. You look at 2008, you get Heller, you get McDonald versus City of Chicago 2 years later, SAF case. We have Bruin in 2022. There are, as I was saying before, like the building blocks. You look at the progression of what those cases covered, and to recap real fast for your listeners, Heller, individual right to keep arms. Also talked about bear. McDonald in 2010 talks about, incorporates it against the states, and now you can sue states and municipalities for Second Amendment violations. And then Bruin talks about, here's the test that we told you in Heller, and expands on the bear outside the homes. So the next logical thing in my mind anyway for the court to address would be common types of firearms, like assault weapons. Are these in fact protected? Things of that. So yeah, it's getting better.
Well, and I think the future is more and more people, instead of sitting home complaining or complaining over the water cooler at work, get involved.
Yeah.
And I don't mean get involved like get involved. Donate to a company or an organization like Second Amendment Foundation that can do your work for you. It's funny, the first show I had today, I've been here since 11, thank you very much, is all off-road. And the government is trying to take away all our lands. They don't want us to go off to the desert. They don't want us to go on trails. They don't want us to go fishing. They don't want us to do any of it. And it's the same thing as this. So I'm usually irritated in the first hour, and when I leave tonight, I will be irritated again. But in a more positive fashion because of organizations like Second Amendment. Because just think if we didn't have you, where we'd be.
Sure. Not everybody has the time or the expertise for that matter.
Right. Or the patience.
Because
you could get really frustrated. What did I tell my wife the other day? I says, every cop in the United States ought to just go home for 1 month.
Wow. I think there's a movie about that called The Purge.
Yeah. But can you imagine if that was to happen?
Yeah.
Then what would the left say?
Oh, please come back.
You
Please.
think? Mr. Please, whatever the case may be. All right. So what other things do you guys, other than go to court, what other things do you do for the Second Amendment? As far as, do you do any educational?
Well, what's the gun rights policy conference?
Oh, yeah. What's that?
It's like somebody got the script all of a sudden.
Yeah.
Hey, where's it at? Oh, yeah, it's right on your someplace.
See
there it is.
See what I'm doing? Keep it on track.
The education component has been a part of the organization since its founding, and one of those things that kind of came out in the 80s was the Gun Rights Policy Conference. And so what that is a gathering of lawyers and scholars and activists and just people who care about the Second Amendment for 2 days of presentations from lawyers. So John Dillon is, again, use his name here, has presented at the Gun Rights Policy Conference, talking about some of the cases here in California and where they are, what's going on in them. You get some of the scholars, which has become very important post Bruin, and it was important after Heller for that matter too, because Heller said what the test was, which was text as informed by history and nation's tradition. But uncovering what was actually going on at the time of the founding, the most important time for that analysis. So the scholars, talk about some of their research. The people from various state organizations talk about what's going on in their states, strategies that have worked, things that have not gone so well or where they've hit some roadblocks. There's receptions in the evenings, and the public can come. They get to interact with these.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah, because it's here in San Diego, right?
Yes.
It will be this year. Yeah.
Yes.
Where at?
It's at the Mission Valley Marriott.
Okay. And when?
September 27th through 29th. I actually do know that much.
Is there a charge for the public to come?
There is not.
Ooh,
but what they do need to do is go to our website to register.
Okay. Second Amendment
Get a free
Foundation.
ticket, basically.
SAF.org.
SAF.org.
Yes, and there is a drop down for GRPC, or it's also, I believe, plastered on the main page. And you just need to register to let us know your comments, so that way we can make the appropriate plans for that.
And then throw a donation in there on top of it.
I mean, we would love that.
Well, if you're there, yeah, might as well, right?
Yeah. I mean, there is a button up in the top right.
Do you have
Nice
different
and easy.
levels? Do you have different levels
do.
of enjoyment?
Yeah, we do have different. Well, for the donations, it's just there's different, what they can donate. Membership, there's different levels.
Okay.
Yeah.
Here's a big question, Dave.
What's
Right.
that?
Okay, if you give 25 for the spaghetti, what are you going to give for this? Like, where does this fall on the scale of donation level importance for you?
$100.
All right.
Thank you.
You ever go to Denny's?
Yes, there used to be a Denny's.
Did you ever eat their spaghetti?
I did not. I used to order 2 of their Grand Slams, though.
No, Michael Schwartz says they're the best
cool.
spaghetti
Really?
on the planet.
I will challenge that this week.
Well, I'm telling you, you're going to have to fight the big guy.
I'll go to Denny's this week.
So
and
guess
try it.
what?
Well, they took it away.
They took
but
it
there
off
was
the menu.
There
Because it was that good.
There was a petition to bring it back, and Dave
And
donated
I
25
spent
bucks.
$25 to put it back on the
Well, did
menu.
it work?
I don't know yet. I don't go to Denny's. And I know
it
there's
was that important to me
and
that I don't
there's
go.
I did it for Mikey because he loves his spaghetti. Hey, you want to learn to fly? Well, you can get your pilot's license. San Diego's the best place to get your license. They can fly almost every day, and San Diego Flight Training International is the best school to get your license. So give them a call, 858-569-1822. Learn to fly with SDFTI. That's 858-569-1822. So we're sitting here having a chat with Adam Kraut. He is with Gun Rights Policy Conference, and we've been having a great time chatting. Actually, Second Amendment Foundation. That was the first question. We got Lee with us today. He's my co-host. And Alicia is in here as well. Let's see. Okay, we asked all the questions but the first one, didn't we?
I know. I had to go back to it. We got it.
I have a question for you, Adam.
It's
So
about
this-
time.
So this is a 3-day event. I've already had it on my calendar.
Yes.
So if you register, just some logistical questions. Sure. Can you go all is same content every day? Is it kind of more of a free for all where you visit where you want to go? Is it a set schedule that I want to kind of plan to be there for certain things? So, or I mean, kind of just a little bit about the structure. I'm just curious
Those were very good questions.
because I've never been and I want to know.
No,
do I need to plan all 3 days or can I get everything I need in one?
Those were excellent questions. So Friday night usually is just a reception.
Okay.
As far as content being presented, there isn't any. The event itself for content starts Saturday.
Okay.
And it runs through about noon, maybe a little bit later on Sunday traditionally. You will not get the same both days. It is different. The order of the speakers, we're currently working on the agenda and filling in speakers, so that's not at all complete yet.
Okay.
But we do have over 20 lined up so far,
Oh, wow.
with more to go. And it was a matter of just trying to figure out what this should look like this year, since we're starting to alter the structure a little bit from years past in the traditional presentation types, trying to figure out how to structure those to make it different than other years and kind of have the event evolve to keep up with current times and whatnot. So it will be different both days. The morning will not be the same as the afternoon, and Sunday will certainly not be the same as Saturday. Speakers will be posted on the website at some point as we start to get more of them locked in. And logistically, since most of you are local, it's just showing up and parking.
That's it.
But if you do need a hotel room, if you're a little further away or people coming in from out of town, there is block reservations available through the website. You can just go there, get a discounted room rate.
That's a good idea.
As well. Yeah.
So let me ask you this, because I go to car press events all the time, like LA and New York, but all the events are just, butted up right after each other. So if you want to go see this one, you got to get there 10 minutes early so you don't get to see the second and the first one. Are there any gaps between the presentations?
So currently the way that the program has been structured traditionally, and it'll probably remain this way this year, is that it's all in one room. So you're not going to miss.
Okay.
Yeah, you're not going to have to pick and choose
And run
or
over here and then
Right.
run over there.
Yeah.
So you park it and stay there for the whole day.
Yeah, that it's really important,
Yeah.
because because if there's 3 presentations in a
Yes.
row that you really, really want to go to, you can't.
There is a dilemma with that structure. It also does change things up a little bit. But as of right now anyway, the way it's structured is that it's in the same hall and you can sit there from morning till the afternoon. Obviously there's breaks. We provide coffee.
But sit
other
there in the same
refreshments.
chair and pretty
Yes.
much listen to each presentation.
Correct.
Okay, so then the fact of the matter is that if you get there a little bit early, get the chair you want to sit in, and short of going to the bathroom, you can sit there the whole time.
Right. Yeah. You don't have to tear your hair out about, I really wanted to hear this person.
Yeah,
but I gotta
yeah.
sacrifice 10 minutes of the other
How
person.
long are the presentations roughly?
It depends. They're anywhere from 10 minutes, I'd say, to 20, 30. It depends if you have a panel or something like that.
So it's just not like an hour, hour and a half, 2 hours normally.
No, try not to do the very long monologues because I know, I myself, no matter how interesting a person is, don't necessarily want to sit through that.
Yeah, Well, it's and the fact that how long have you guys been doing this?
I believe it was started in 1986.
Wow.
My math is not very good, but this is the 39th annual Gun Rights Policy Conference.
How long have you known about it?
When did we start? 4 o'clock?
What about you, Alicia?
I heard about it last year, but I wasn't able to, it obviously wasn't local, so I wasn't able to attend.
So we got to
think
do a
the-
little bit more publicity.
Yeah.
my
Well, it's
friend.
the fact that it's local that I heard about.
Right.
It's not something I would generally travel.
Is it
for.
all across the United States? Is it at a different place, different times?
Yes, so it is something that does, in fact, travel. This is our first time in San Diego. I believe previously it had been in Sacramento, maybe, and San Francisco.
Okay.
I know it's been in Chicago. It was in Phoenix in 2019, and again, I believe last year it was in Dallas another year.
Okay, so you spread it around.
It spreads it around, yeah, and part of that is because people hear about it locally, and not everybody wants to get on a plane every year to go, fly to it,
Sure.
to give other people the opportunity to attend. And then, of course, you get the presenters and the people who want to come every year who are traveling.
Who doesn't want to come to San Diego?
That's what I was going to say. So they've done it
Exactly.
behind enemy lines in San Francisco and Sacramento first.
Yeah.
I think so. I know it's been in California, but those were before my time at the organization. And, that brings up a very good point. People asking, well, why are you holding it in California? And that's actually a really fun question to answer.
Sure.
because,
Yeah, no kidding.
first of all, California has a massive gun owning population.
We do.
And I think the rest of the country forgets about that. Again.
Until
me-
we suck up all the mags for the entire country.
Or all the ammo.
Yeah.
Well, some of us already bought a lot. That wasn't really a problem for a
Yeah.
time being. But, coming from the other side of the country, when I was younger, certainly didn't care what happened here.
Right.
Because I was also young and stupid and not where I am today. But what emanates from what starts in California emanates and is spread elsewhere. These ideas all get exported.
They
So
do.
it's very
Yeah.
important to deal with the source of the problem, like any number of other problems in life.
Yeah.
And so we felt it was important to show that not only are 15 lawsuits in the state, but come to California to show that we're not scared to be here.
Right.
Yeah.
And to show support for Californians and hopefully have Californians come and learn something and interact with us.
Well,
and other
I
people.
think you will. I mean, because like you said, what happens in California is eventually going to go
Spreads.
across the United States like a storm.
Well, look what's happening in Colorado. It's almost like a blueprint of how California kind of started to roll.
Yep.
Well,
Yeah.
Colorado has a lot of California transplants.
do.
And so does Texas. And so does Idaho. And so does Montana.
That's it.
And
So
these
does
are all...
Tennessee and West
Right.
Virginia.
Uh-huh.
We
And
ruin
it just-
everything.
Not New York.
Yeah, New
Well, 'cause
York's
that's bad
exporting
now.
it.
No
so
one's going to New York.
Yeah.
they're all leaving New York.
That's
Yeah,
right.
They're coming to Pennsylvania and other places.
So, is this challenging to you going all these different states? Which one do you find more involvement in one, say, state other than another?
That's been a topic of discussion, and certainly I can tell you that the Phoenix events are well attended. There's also a lot of support from the Arizona gun groups there, which also lends to more attendance. And San Diego County Gunners have been fantastic in helping promote this event, so we're expecting a good turnout. I know your gun prom I've attended twice, and I plan on coming again this year. And I was very impressed with the number of people that came to that.
Right.
Especially my first year. I had no idea, particularly given the age of the organization. You guys have a great attendance to that. So I'm hoping
Absolutely.
that, promotion helps. But yeah, so traveling around the country, there are some states that do better than others.
Right.
Illinois has been another one that traditionally the Chicago one has done very well as far as attendance. And I think that's in part just due to the relationships we share with various state and local organizations.
Right.
And whether you are, the listeners out there, whether you feel that you have interest in the realm of legal matters, a lot of people are out there like, I own guns, I like guns, but that's not my thing. I'm not into legal stuff. I'm not into politics. But you know what? It's really important whether you think you're into it or not. If you want to keep those gun rights, you want to kind of keep the state and keep it rolling the way that we want it, you need to get involved and at least get it at least informed.
Yeah, education.
You know, yeah, because it's when we have that lack of knowledge and lack of information that that people kind of get rolled over.
Yeah,
and they don't even realize it.
The second you buy a gun, you're
Yep.
involved,
That's
whether
it.
you like it or not.
Oh yeah, whether you like it or not.
That's it.
All right, so we're off script.
Yeah, I
Let's
noticed.
talk
Surprise,
about
surprise.
open range.
But he was also at the symposium this weekend, right?
I was.
See?
I was there earlier today.
Segue.
I mean, we can even keep going down the education train for a moment if you want.
Let's do it.
Let's
Because
do it.
I think it is important. You know, being educated yourself, whatever your involvement is, whether you want to come to an event or you want to give money to a group or you want to go run for office, but being informed is the first step in being a good citizen. And I think if you have a basic understanding of how things function, whether it's basic or advanced, you can then share that with other people. And that is a form of involvement, and that is a form of advocating for your rights,
Right.
having those discussions with people and understanding that, you know, one of the questions I get all the time is, well, why is this lawsuit taking so long?
Yeah.
Well, people don't know how our court system works. And that's not a knock on them necessarily. You know, it's a failure in a lot of ways of public education to a degree. But this stuff takes time, and here's the process, and here's why it takes so long versus, you know, your legislature can dream up a law today. They can write the bill tomorrow, and they can get it passed quickly because they're all marching to the beat of the same drum. And then your governor signs it, and next thing you know, whatever that thing was is now in effect. And it takes a lot of time to fix that. So the other thing that San Diego County Gun Owners has done really well is found people to run for office. And vetted people, and
Right.
you know, that kind of level of involvement in your community is also important. But I think being educated is one of the ways in which you can have intelligent conversations with people that are not just based on emotion or the Constitution says and slamming your fist on the table. And while the Constitution does say X, that's never a convincing argument to somebody who feels a different way.
Yeah.
There's other ways to lead horses to water, though, and it doesn't matter how right you are. As if you slam your fist on the table, whatever the topic is, nobody likes to be screamed at like that or told that way. But there are other avenues, and I think by being informed on things, that's one way to get people to where they need to go.
So you were at the open range day?
I was not.
I was.
I was. Where were you, Dave?
Yeah.
When was it? Yesterday?
Friday.
Friday.
I'm working.
So was I.
So was I.
So was I.
Yeah.
So was I. Now that we're all working.
Yeah.
How was it?
It was fun. It was a lot of fun.
I seen your picture.
Yeah.
I didn't see yours.
Sorry.
Oh, you must have been the one taking the picture.
I was in some.
All right. So what did it entail?
Lots of shooting, first of all.
Yeah. Where at?
Sun.
Escondido.
Okay.
Yeah. And yeah, it was sun. Very hot. Sunny
Oh,
day.
yeah.
It's one of those days in perfect Escondido weather. Starts cool. Seconds later, it's hot.
Yeah.
Really?
I teach out
And this
there.
was in conjunction with the actual gun show, right?
Yep. So everyone that went to that also got tickets to go to the gun show for free. Well,
Oh,
not
wow.
free, but included with it.
And they're
it
also
was-
going to get all the invites and the information for the policy
and not only that,
conference
there
as well.
was prizes that day for those people specifically.
Did you win anything?
No, I couldn't. I was exempt,
Did you win anything?
I was exempt as well.
but I did buy some stuff.
Oh, I bought lots of stuff.
Yeah.
Too. Yeah.
You think a lot of people bought a lot of guns at the show?
At the gun show?
Yeah.
I mean, I think they were excited to be there.
Yeah. I
probably
saw
so.
some transactions going on.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Any notable talks at the symposium that stand out?
I was too busy looking at stuff, honestly.
He's buying the world's heaviest gun mat.
Yeah. I'm a gear guy, so I was looking at all that
Did you
stuff.
buy one too?
I bought the gun mat. Did I buy a gun? Is that your question? Did I buy a gun?
Your husband's listening. Go ahead.
I did not purchase a gun at the gun show, no.
Wink, wink.
I'm still in my 30 days, so I couldn't.
Oh, you're still in your 30 days. Now the truth comes out.
Yeah, I'm actually in Dross as well right now.
I don't know what I'm going to do with you guys. Yeah, so I'm eating a Twinkie, and it's stuck in my teeth. What color am I, Jim? Hey, if you want gear at an affordable price, check out Condor Outdoors. And it's Alicia's fault. Whether you're a military professional, a law enforcement officer, or simply an avid outdoors person, Condor products are designed to be versatile, durable, and above all, reliable. So if you're looking for the best in the tactical gear, look no further than Condor Outdoor. Use code GOR for a 15% discount off the website, CondorOutdoor.com. That's CondorOutdoor.com. And definitely use that GOR code with a 15% discount. And I found the trick. You put the Twinkie on one side of your mouth and the Twinkie on the other side of your mouth.
Talk out the
And
middle.
you can talk right out the middle.
So speaking of Condor, I have to say, I got a Condor hat at the free shoot event on Friday, and it saved the day. Saved the sun.
Yeah, you don't
and
look sunburnt.
Not that bad. But it's neat. It had the Velcro patch on the front, so I can slap my own, don't shoot the instructor patch on the front.
Oh, do you have to have one of those kind of patches?
It's a good idea.
Huh.
I guess
I've been doing it wrong.
I guess you've been doing it wrong.
Yeah.
You're putting the patch in the wrong
I just
place.
have the don't shoot me.
Yeah, I know. So we got Jim Bellinger. I don't know why it says paragraph 2.
The name of my company.
Why don't you ask him?
Wait, what?
That's the name of your company?
Yeah.
I've already looked through this whole frickin' paperwork looking for something that says paragraph 2. Who would name their company paragraph 2?
Jim
Well-
Bellinger.
Wait, who's that? But who's that?
Second paragraph of the Declaration of Independence says that you have the right to pursue certain things like life, liberty, and happiness.
You know why he
mean-
named it that?
Why?
So that people will ask, so he has the opportunity to
That's
explain
right.
it.
You're a car salesman, if there ever was one.
Is that a bad thing?
No, that's a good thing.
People ask me constantly why I named my company that, so yours is way cooler.
And by the way, he's looking for a Chevy Astro van. Just in case
Well, you
Jump
can,
out.
You can get in trouble in those kinds of things because, like in that one, it says, if you don't like certain things in the country, you're supposed to throw those people out and put new people in there.
Oh.
Oh, funny.
Yeah.
It doesn't say vote them out, though. It's odd.
It says
Yeah, I know.
throw
Our
them
founding
out.
fathers were pretty smart.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know,
Imagine that.
and how old were our founding fathers when they did this?
It's
They're
a
in
different
their
world.
30s.
You know,
Yep.
if there was no internet, I'd probably be a lot smarter too, though.
That's
Well,
true.
if it's on the internet, it's the truth.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean,
I'm
really,
saying.
when you stop it, I don't think people really realize how young those people were when they put this together.
And how brilliant.
So,
Yeah.
The
without a
depth of their thoughts were just
Yeah.
amazing.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's mind-boggling. But I kind of look at it as they were living this tyranny.
Mm-hmm.
They were living all of the things that they wrote about for it not to happen in the future, which was happening to them.
Yeah.
And
When
we
you
get
got-
to live it now.
Well, yeah, now it's come back.
Yeah.
That's because the left comes from another planet.
But they also say in there that we have a right, but not only a right, but a duty to fix that.
Yeah,
We can't just sit there and put our head in the sand.
Well,
yeah, but
yeah.
people do that.
We
I
do.
hate to say
We
it, but
live with our head in
the
sand.
left and the right have a tendency to put their
Yeah.
head in the sand.
Again, you
Yeah.
say something wrong, they just jump on you and
Yeah.
take everything away from you. It's kind of
Right.
sad.
Without a shadow of a doubt. Gosh, you got guys who think we're in a fishbowl.
I know.
Give them a Twinkie. That'll slow them down. But so you put this this company together, and what is it that you actually do besides
I do
educate?
training as well.
Oh, okay.
I had a little bit of fun with Alicia and her group
Yeah.
Okay.
last week. Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
Came down and we talked about NRA class, CCW class
Mm-hmm.
as instructors, and it was a fun time. It was good. I do things a little different because a lot of instructors, they lose in their first year. They don't make their business, and we lose about 75% of them. So I teach a lot of the business side of it and give them some ideas and things that can make their business more profitable,
Okay.
and they can go on with their life because
Right.
a lot of guys are just suffering right now.
Guys like, for example.
Just instructors everywhere.
Oh, instructors.
I'm a training counselor for the USCCA and the NRA, and we run people through the gambit of all the tests and the certifications. The DOJ comes in and says, "Oh, now you can't do."
I was going to say, aren't they messing with you instructors?
they're messing
Yeah.
totally with the instructors, and now the NRA is back inside that, and it's kind of like it's just a different situation that they just keep trying to slow down the CCW process.
Yeah.
Well, that's their job if you ask them.
And we need to replace them.
Right.
Yeah.
That's really the key thing is we got to figure that out.
And
Lee and I were talking earlier
Yeah.
about we're the probably the biggest group of people in the world. We could run the world if we could just agree as gun owners that we
yeah.
want to fix things. 81 million of us.
I
All we got
know.
to do is agree.
I know.
Yeah.
And that's always been the problem. Like I mentioned earlier,
Mm-hmm.
I work with the off-road community. I can tell you right now, just in San Diego alone, there's 7 groups all fighting for the right.
Yeah.
Why we don't all get together.
Well, it's like what we talked about last week. Dog eat dog. Instead of coming together
Yeah.
and helping each other out.
Right.
No, it's what can I do for me?
But
Not
the
what can I do for
left-
us.
If you want to just call it the left just for explanation, they're all grouped together.
Yeah. Hive mentality. They get together
Yeah.
and they make it a big, strong presence.
They don't have individual groups trying to shut
Mm-hmm.
us down. They have one massive group.
Yeah.
And they have people that speak for them, and they support them in every way, shape, and form. As Mr. Soros' name pops into your mind. I mean, because it's just insane when you really stop and think about it.
You know, sheep are like that. They answer to the voice of the shepherd.
Boy, I was waiting for you to say
solid. That's a good
that. Well,
one.
that's
I like
an
that.
awesome one.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what we got to do. Make up a bunch of shirts with sheep on them,
Yeah.
and then just start handing them out.
Yeah.
Say, hey, you deserve this.
Hey, you can have this shirt if you just go stand over there for me. Okay.
Okay.
Free? Yeah.
Or here's a Twinkie.
Yeah.
Go stand in the corner.
Well, dang it. Now I'm in.
Look, you're already eating one. Now you're going to eat another one. No, but how long have you been doing this?
I've been doing it about 7 years.
7 years. What'd you do before that?
I traveled around. I was an executive for a bunch of different companies. I had
Okay.
a great life. I was
So
really
what made
fortunate.
you say, okay, this is ridiculous. I got to do something.
The governor was helping me. He was a big part of that. I had a couple of gyms, and he helped me close them during COVID.
That was
really,
nice of him.
he's really
He
good
helped
at
you to
that.
close them.
Well, he's really
That's so
good
nice.
at that.
He's
Yeah.
really good. He's exceptional at closing businesses.
Yeah, he is.
And so, you know, I was kind of trying to retire, and my wife says, you know, you're not coming home. It's driving me crazy. So go out and do something. And this has always been a love of mine.
Yeah.
I started shooting when I was 5 years old in
Yeah,
Wisconsin.
you and me both.
So I just love it. And so when we sit back out and teach, and I was doing a class in Arizona for the NRA, and one of the training counselors said, you know, if you take 2 classes, you're in the top 1% of educated people in the gun world. And I went,
Wow.
whoa, time out. Say, what did you say? Where did that come from? And so I called the NRA, talked to Marty, our director of training and stuff. He goes, oh, no, that's the number. Most people don't even take a class.
No.
That's
I'm
incredible.
like, wow, that's amazing.
Wow.
And then we go and we talk about CCW, pistols, everything else like that. We won this country with a rifle. We didn't win it with a pistol.
That's right.
And so we've got to step up how we educate people to say, it's not the pistol. Now you got to go to the rifle. Now you got to go to something. And I want all my friends 800 yards away.
Yeah. Works for me.
Yeah.
Sound good?
Yeah.
So that's what we have to train people to and kind of sit back and look at. But we've got to stay in business. We've got to work through each other. We've got to not cut down the next instructor next to us.
Yeah.
That crazy.
That's a big one. It
I
really
mean,
is.
We did fun things with her class when they were there. I don't know if you were there when we made the phone call.
No.
No. So I have an answering service for my business. And I said, somebody dial the phone number, and they dialed it. This little Southern Belle answers the phone. Paragraph 2, how can I help you? And I said, hey, ask them about a CCW class. And she goes, oh, go to our website, do this. And everybody in the room is like looking around going, what's going on? We don't even answer our phone most of the time. And I went, you're losing business. This is a business. Don't treat it like it's anything else.
That's right.
Yeah.
And everybody lightened up. So, okay, what's that? Give me that number. Where did I get this thing? That's my job as an instructor trainer to make sure they're successful.
Right.
Most TCs, training counselors, won't train people within 100 miles of them because they don't want to have competition.
Yeah.
That's really wrong.
That's totally wrong.
Yes.
It's the wrong mentality. It's
But
instead
you
of
see it
co-opetition,
everywhere, right?
it's like, oh, dog eat dog.
Yeah.
I want mine. Screw you.
Right. Again, in little pockets. Instead of a big fist, you got 5 fingers.
Yeah.
And the 5 fingers aren't doing anything together.
Yeah.
Not at all. So that, again, my goal has all been about making it all come together as a group.
That's awesome.
So how you doing?
Great.
Is it working?
Fabulously.
Slowly but surely?
No, faster than you would think.
Really?
Yeah, a lot of people, when we took a group of people under this new DOJ situation, and then they threw everybody out and said, oh, it's got to be a range master, it's got to
Right.
be this, all this nonsense. And then a bunch of people applied, and they actually sent us out all the wrong paperwork because the DOJ is just slowing everything down.
Sure.
You guys listening? No, I'm sorry.
No. Oh,
Yeah, they're gonna say
trust
it.
me.
Yeah, trust me.
Trust me. They're listening.
Jimmy, you're not.
We've been doing this 8 years.
I know.
Can you believe that?
Yeah.
So I went out and said a group of guys paid one guy like $2,000-$3,000 to do a 5-day class. They didn't get signed up. He was up in Valencia or someplace. Another guy did it in Riverside, and I took all 18 guys and said, I will instruct you for free. You just pay the range time. And I got 9 done last week, and I got 9 next week, and I'll be done with them because they got burnt. They weren't taken care of. And people say, why would you create 9 new CCW, 18 new CCW instructors? Because that's what I'm supposed to do.
Right.
Yeah.
We're in this together.
That's the mentality. Man, that is awesome. That's so refreshing to hear in this industry of all places.
See, now you know why we brought you in today.
I know. Well, it's because Mike's out.
And then you're not coming next week?
No, something else happened. I don't know.
Oh, yeah.
They didn't let me in on that. It's not
I'll
my
talk to the
week.
guy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, like I said last week, it's like the rising tide does lift all ships. You
Yeah.
know, if you think you're going to be on an island by yourself and you think you're going to keep people away, it doesn't work that way.
Yeah.
you know.
And it's so refreshing to come together as those types of people and show up and all be in the same place and be like, hey, like on Friday, how many trainers were there? Like 6?
A lot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For 20 people,
yeah.
there was like 6 different training companies there.
Really?
Yeah. And all of us were like, oh, don't listen to him, listen to me. We're like, oh, that's awesome. Let's do that. Oh, that's cool. You know, just like
The government
That's it.
finally did something positive for us.
They did.
By nailing all of these trainers, they pushed them all into paragraph 2.
There you go.
God, I never said they were the sharpest pencil in the box either.
They're not.
Hey, folks, if you're a gun owner, you need legal protection. And if you do everything right, even if you're 100% justified, you should be prepared for the legal battle after your self-defense battle. That's why you need Firearms legal protection. When you join, you get uncapped legal protection for self-defense for civil or criminal cases with a 24/7 hotline. And joining is real easy. Just go to firearmslegal.com and click on Become a Member. Use code GOR for a discount. Enjoy the peace of mind knowing that you are protected if you are ever involved in a self-defense incident. Firearmslegal.com and use that code GOR. Hey, subscribe and win. Subscribe and win to our email list, and you can win some swag. The winner this week is Jonathan Kamangag. Hey, Jonathan, go to prizes at gunownersradio.com to claim your T-shirt or a hat. Hey, folks, do you have a business you want to promote to the gun owners community? Consider a Gun Prom VIP speakeasy sponsorship. I mean, if you've never been to our Gun Prom, it's packed, folks. And this, if you're trying to promote your business, this is an awesome way to do it, especially if you're all into Second Amendment. And there's only 40 spots available. And you also get 2 tickets to Gun Prom. And Gun Prom this year is going to be totally different. Lee's even excited.
Yeah, I'm pumped.
He's been playing blackjack now for the last 20 minutes.
Taking classes and everything.
Taking classes. $1,000 in gaming chips. You get to enjoy a VIP speakeasy room. That's where we're looking for a sponsorship. Featuring a special gift, signature drinks, and you can mingle in a private room. And Alicia's going to do karaoke.
You know it.
Yeah, I heard you were good.
Is that real?
Long as the drinks are flowing, she can sing it.
Is that real? At Gun Prom, there's karaoke?
That's a.
How would you?
I don't know. I'm just a minion that's showing up. I think
the cutest
I think
red.
that's a really good way to clear a room, though.
Yeah.
I did
put
think you were
me-
sunburned.
I would say if that's the case, I'm out.
Yeah.
No, I'm only kidding. There's no karaoke. But if you wanted to, I'm sure we could make it happen. Your chosen logo on a gaming table. That'd be kind of cool.
That's pretty cool, yeah.
Special mention on all Gun Prom promotional material and emails. A special thank you on our SDCGO weekly email. And a thank you on Gun Owners Radio weekly before and after the Gun Prom. Interview segments on Gun Owners Radio as a Gun Prom sponsor. And a special thank you from the podium at Gun Prom. So buy today at gunprom.com. Actually, with all those benefits that you get, that's really not a bad deal.
Yeah, how could you not do it?
But there's only 40 left, so you better get off the stick, as they say, and make it happen.
How
Well,
does
Lee,
one do that?
Go to gunprom.com.
Yep, gunprom.com. And, Lee, you brought up a good point off air. The gun proms in the past have all been awesome, but they were not stale, but they were just kind of the same thing.
Yeah,
in and out.
yeah.
Getting ready for something new.
Yeah, and I think by turning it into, making it happening, turn like casino night.
Yeah. Well, I think it's a fun way to be involved all night.
Yeah.
Instead of just sitting there listening to someone speak, I have to admit I don't have that great of an attention span for sitting speaking while drinking.
No. Well, I
So you do it in the wrong order.
Yeah.
I didn't
Apparently,
But I
you
agree
start with beer and then you sit to listen
Yeah.
to a speaker. No, that doesn't how it works.
I totally agree. And then hopefully this year they're going to do another little bit different. I talked to Rich about it and Mike. The last one they had, when they had all the weapons and all the prizes that were given away, there were no descriptions on anything.
Yeah.
So you didn't know what you know,
You had to
anything
know
was.
to know. Yeah.
Yeah, unless you're somebody like you that or these other two gentlemen that are going to be speaking here shortly, or even Alicia. You know, there could be a pistol, and you don't know what it is.
Yeah.
So I always told them, I said, I think that would be really important if somebody knew what it was.
Or in some of the events I've been to in the past, they have a little guide, that you pick up and you can flip through and see.
Well, there's that too. Yeah,
But more just readily available, like a kiosk or something that you can just walk up to and flip through.
or a 3x5 card that's
Yeah.
right on the box. That especially if it's the one where you put all your tickets in, if that's the one you want.
Yeah, for sure.
Maybe a little breakdown just so somebody would know.
Yeah.
I think that would help. And by the way, the reason we do this is to keep San Diego County gun owners alive and well.
Yeah.
To keep fighting the fight, keep
Absolutely.
hiring the lawyers, keep starting the lawsuits,
Yeah.
to keep us safe. Because all you folks out there that haven't joined San Diego County Gun Owners for $10 a month, you can't even buy breakfast for $10 a month.
No.
There could be a time when all of a sudden there's no San Diego County Gun Owners and we're overtaken.
Yeah. And it's a fun way to give back, Like I'm going to donate some money that night and I'm going to play poker for it.
And you're around like-minded people.
Absolutely. I enjoy it. It's kind of like our mini SHOT Show here in San Diego, where all of us
Right.
from the industry get together, drink some beers, hang out,
It's
and
a
have
social
fun.
event.
Right.
That's it.
100%. It's having fun, laughing and joking, and with all of our friends and stuff.
And different participants bring different products,
Like that.
things that you may not see anymore.
Yeah.
Alicia's already bought her. What did you buy?
Recently?
That big mat?
Oh, yeah. I bought the world's heaviest gun cleaning mat.
Just to clean your guns on?
I did.
Why the heaviest?
That's just an observation that I made when I went to pick it up.
Oh, I see.
Yes.
Pulled your back and
Fair
said,
enough.
okay.
I needed a wagon to get it back to my car.
Excuse
why
me,
did-
this one's too light. I will not be taking it.
So why did it have to be so heavy?
The material it's made out of it's from just a guy's startup. He makes them himself. He just basically molds using a silicone, so it's that grippy.
Okay.
So when you lay your parts and bits, they're not going to roll all around, and there's just that grippiness to it. The stuff stays where you put it, and he's like, it just rinses clean with a hose.
Really?
Oh,
Yeah.
wow.
Yeah,
So you can't roll
and
it
there's
up?
it rolls up. Yeah, and he gave me these little Velcro straps to roll it up together with. Yeah, and there's little compartments to put things. So yeah.
Wow.
It's still in the box. I haven't used it yet, but
Well, no,
yeah.
because you just
I
got it.
mean, that sounds better than using a towel. That's
It
what I
is.
do.
Yeah, that's what I use normally at home. Is an
Yeah.
old towel.
Yeah.
It gets demoted down to the gun cleaning towel.
Yeah.
But now I got this fancy mat. I have a gun cleaning party at my house.
I'm surprised you
Does that mean I
didn't.
can just drop mine off and you'll clean them?
Maybe.
Oh, yeah. She brought you
That's it.
Twinkies.
Right?
I mean, come on.
Yeah, I'll just drop
She'll
mine
clean
off.
your
That's it.
guns.
Yep.
Give them to Mike and put them under the sink.
Yeah, that's fair enough.
That's how he cleans
Dishwasher.
them.
Coat them and seal one first,
Yeah,
right?
he coats them in seal one, then he turns on the faucet and he washes them in the sink.
Fair enough. I mean,
Would you do that with yours?
I would not.
No.
Yeah. But
And
I was just talking to someone today. I was like, when I had the gun shop for so many years, I'd be like, people would bring guns in for us to clean, and I'd be like, I cannot stand this. Why am I doing their dirty work? And now I'm like, hey, what shop does cleaning? Because I'm gonna drop off like 9 guns.
Yeah, I did have one older woman who brought to me a gun for a lesson, and it was a revolver. And if you know revolvers, you know that the trigger and the hammer tends to be made of a different metal than the rest of the firearm, and it was incredibly rusted. And I was just, she made a statement or comment about how she had just bought it the year before, and how she was excited for her first lesson because she bought this gun last year, and here she is for the first time, and she's going to shoot it. And I'm just thinking in my head, I'm like, 1 year old. Where's this gun been?
Yeah, I can't even pull the hammer back.
So she was so excited. Yeah, essentially the hammer was seized. She was so excited that she cleaned it really, really well. Often. Soapy water on the counter.
Nice. Solid
Yeah.
choice.
Yeah.
Did you tell her that was a no-no?
We had a little talk. Yeah, we did. Yeah, we did.
Did you sell her some Seal One?
No, I had to do some remediation and fix it. So
And
it would
sell her a new
work.
gun.
And then that might be down the road. That might be. We're doing what we can to keep it.
It's like the guy I had come in one time and was like, the whole side of my Glock is rusted. And I said, what? That's bizarre. Just one side? Yeah. Well, where do you keep it? On my dresser. Where do you live? At the beach. I was like, well, that'll do it.
That'll do
Yep,
it
that'll
every
do
time.
it. Salt air coming in your window
Yep.
at night. Yep.
You almost forgot, didn't you?
No.
You got that Twinkie stuck in your mouth.
Guilty.
Hey, Not Me is for women, by women, and it's designed to help women with training, purchasing a gun, and getting a concealed carry permit. And guess what? It's free. If you're a woman, or you know a woman who needs help, have her sign up, and we'll give her all the help she needs. To sign up, just go to notmesd.org. All right, Lee, why don't you introduce our guests? Oh, you don't have a paperwork. Welcome to Paul Gooding and Bill McLaren from 2A Firearms Training. How you guys doing?
We're doing good.
Which one's Paul?
The ugly one.
So which one?
You're Paul, and you're Bill. Okay. All right. Who wants to talk about 2H firearm trainings?
What do you want to know?
Pull that mic. You can use that. You can use Alicia's. It's got the
What do you want to know?
Twinkie dust.
I want to know what's your jam? What's your focus?
Oh, what's your jam?
What do you
These days, primarily, we've been doing the CCW, and as you know, it's changed to 16 hours.
Yeah.
So Bill and I got certified with the DOJ for stop
16
all that
hours.
nonsense.
Oh, you got through?
Yeah,
Oh,
we
very
got through. It took a little time, but
We actually went out and got post-certified. So we
Wow.
killed it
Yeah.
that way.
Yeah,
Doesn't
above and
matter
beyond.
what they do.
Yeah.
They can't touch us.
Yeah, that's awesome.
too many changes, too
Yeah.
many. They don't know what they're doing. So by being post-trained now, we can be DOJ certified.
Well, I
or
mean,
whatever.
they've never known what they're doing.
I was going to say,
Yeah.
have they ever known what they're doing?
No.
That's not new.
Because they're just throwing, you know what, against the wall, and whatever sticks. They don't even care if it's legal. They don't even care. They don't care because they just want to do whatever we can to stop you two guys from doing what you're doing.
Well, most people don't realize that the actual course has been a 16-hour course, but it was only required by SDSO to do an 8-hour. It was their choice not to have to impose the 16 hours. So
Right.
we've had a privilege on that. But Bill and I have had many discussions about the quality of the training that these people are getting because they're coming in fresh, most of them. They're not gun owners. They're not gun
Yeah.
shooters.
Yep.
And in 8 hours, you cannot go through this material and send them on their way
Right.
effectively.
Yeah.
So the 16-hour, I think, is obviously for business, it's extra revenue. But more importantly, we've done a couple of them, and the day 2 is all gun handling. There's none of this PowerPoint presentation. It's a full day of gun handling, working on their skill sets, holster work, safety.
Well,
That's awesome.
see if you could help me with this, okay? Because it makes no sense to me, okay? First off, they want to take our guns away. I said, okay, you can have your guns, but we got to have background checks, and we got to have training, we got to have background checks, and we got to have more training. And then they turn around and find a way to stop the trainers. So somebody's got to explain to me what the problem is here. I mean, if you want us trained, why are you putting roadblocks in front of the trainers?
Well, I think that your statement just answered your own question. If they're going to give roadblocks to getting training, well, darn, we can't. They can't meet the requirements to get their permits.
So here's the problem we have right now. Because they've gone to 16-hour classes, anybody up to January 1st, if they applied last year, they get to do an 8-hour class. What we're seeing is the 8 hours are slowly
Yeah, you'll get a
disappearing.
drop off. Yeah.
16 hours are not replacing them. We're not seeing as many people come through. I
think-
don't know if that's a function of how slow the sheriff's department is processing, or it's a function of it now costs double the money.
Yeah. Yeah. And
And
when
double
people
the
see
time.
that, that's a whole weekend.
Okay,
now
what's double the money?
to
So
get
training course.
Training.
No, I know.
Yeah.
How
So
much
we,
is it?
we have a class for the 8-hour class. Well, if we have to do 2 8-hour classes now, it's 2 days at the same rate. So it's
Okay, what's the
doubling.
same rate? Just for people.
For us, it's $220,
Okay, so it's from 220 to 440.
$440, but that includes 2 guns on your permit, no charge.
Okay, but I think that has a lot to do with it. I mean, yeah, I'll spend $200 and get trained, but I don't know if I'll
Well,
spend $400.
It's not. It's $400 and 2 days. There's a lot
And
to
2
it.
days of
and
your
the,
life.
And 100 rounds of ammunition for your first gun. 50
and
rounds
and
for the second gun.
and the appointment at the sheriff's department. You got
And
to
the
take time
range
off work
fees.
for that. Yeah,
You-
there's a
Hey,
lot.
stop! I'm going to go buy an Astro van.
Yeah, you and me both.
But you know what? Again, it's roadblocks after roadblock after roadblock after roadblock.
Well, the whole goal has been with SB2. It's been a goal for a long time, but SB2's their crown on the top of the head. If we can't stop people from having a CCW, we're going to make it so damned expensive that they don't want to have it. And just in case, we're going to make it so damn hard to get trained because there won't be any instructors to teach you.
Yeah,
And just for
but
something
guess
in
what?
giggles, they're turning 11% now on the purchase of a firearm.
Yeah.
Just another way
Well, yeah.
of
And that's the thing.
sticking
They
it to the
can
person.
they can say, "Oh no, we didn't make it hard to get." No. We made it easy to get, but here's all the things that go with it now. Yeah.
Well, they have an agenda. I mean, let's face it. You know it, I know it, we know it, they know it, but they don't care. It's their agenda. They're getting ready to put a 30-cent tax on gas.
Mm-hmm.
And one of the politicians actually said, we're working for $20 a gallon, because if we can get it to $20 a gallon, then they'll quit driving and they'll buy electric cars.
Yeah.
That's their goal. And they don't even hide it anymore.
No.
You know, and then the way it's going to be worded as far as from a voting purpose, you'll be voting on it thinking that you're doing a good thing, and you're going to end up at 30 cents a gallon. It's just right around the corner.
Yeah.
What's also unique is that, you know, the police department, police, sheriff, so on and so on, law enforcement, they have to train and they have to qualify and they have to requalify, and they're set to a standard. And yet the civilian can walk through the door, get their permit, and we won't see them again.
Right.
And that's the scary thing for
That's
us as
really
instructors.
Well, when you were talking with, what was his name earlier?
Jim.
Jim. He was talking about that, and we see that. I'll tell you right now, 95% of the people that we see for a CCW class never take another class.
Yeah.
They didn't train beforehand, and they never train again.
They're only getting their CCW, and that's it.
To that notion, there's a lot of people that I have known that had CCWs, and I'm like, whew.
Yep.
Let me just have your gun when the time comes.
How many times have you had students come in with a gun, for example, mag in the mag well, loaded and seized and arrested, and they haven't taken it out since the last time they shot their qual, 2 years ago?
We see them.
That happens.
Yeah.
We see people coming back for renewals who haven't touched the gun since they took their initial class.
And that's 2 years.
They are the worst shooters.
Oh, yeah.
Because they haven't done nothing.
Yep.
And they come back, and all that we do is a qualification shoot on a renewal. We're not supposed to be teaching them how to shoot.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know?
I had a student last week, and they showed up, and they were so proud of their new gun. And I asked them when they got it, and they said they picked it up yesterday. And I said, have you even taken it out of the box? They said no. So I said, you're not familiar with it. You haven't checked to see if it's lubricated. And they're going into a qualification shoot, so we can sign a certificate that says run around San Diego with your gun. Scary.
Did you say have a nice day?
Yeah. Have a nice day.
Yeah.
This is why we say, with the AR class, we really don't have the time to do anything with these people other than the safe execution of the qualification shoot.
Yeah. Yeah.
Now, with the 16 hours, we have a whole other day to work on that stuff. What we do is on day one, we actually take them to the range on day one, and we just have them blind. Just go shoot a qualification shoot. And we write down all the safety violations on their target, and we write down all the things that we're doing wrong on their target, and we make them take a picture of it.
Nice.
At the end of day two, they go back on the range again, and the difference between the day one student and the day two student is night and day.
Yeah. I do a similar thing in my training where it's called a now drill, where it's called a now drill because when do you get into a gunfight? Right now, right? And it's we don't warm up, we don't check anything. We just boom, go shoot, and then we do that same drill at the end of the day, and you can drastically see the improvement.
Right.
And people have to understand, you will not rise to the occasion. You will default to your lowest level of education.
Well, sure.
We have to educate these people on how to train, because they're thinking training is using their iron sights when they have time, it's relaxed.
Yeah.
And we have to tell them the gunfight, as you said, is now. It's a point-and-shoot situation, under stress, under major duress. Yeah. And they're not even thinking of that. They're just thinking, I'm going to shoot my qual with my sights.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, Alicia came up with there was a gentleman. You remember that guy that you told us about that was bringing his groceries to his apartment, and somebody came up behind him, and they tried to rob him.
Did you hear about the guy up in L.A.?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. So, yeah, he had tea and something in his hands. Well, yeah, and
I mean, he was.
This was in November. Yeah. Thing is, and I don't know. He did interviews. I got to be honest. I didn't listen to all the interviews. I don't know what training he had prior.
But he didn't hit anything.
He didn't. And if you take a look at the video, I'm sure you've seen it, Lee, right? The video. If you take a look, if he came out of his holster with the crappiest grip I've seen. And that, in my opinion, comes down to either a lack of training or a lack to follow that training. And the thing is, in a stressful situation, adrenaline's going to flow. You're going to sink below your lowest level of training. And that's why the training, not only, it shouldn't just be a one-time thing. You need to kind of repeat it, and it needs to be something that muscle memory is there, and you can just go and do it without having to have any thought into it.
And not only that, but people, when's the next time you're getting into a gunfight in a gun range?
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So I teach people like, hey, learn your space, learn to get down on a knee, get in and out of cars, shoot as you would live life.
Right.
And nobody does that.
That's an interesting thing, because one of the things that I talk to them about in the class is, you've got to make a decision. Are you going to be a hard skills guy, or are you going to be a tactics guy? Because most of the tactics are there to compensate for the lack of hard skills. If you don't have the basic hard skills, you need tactics.
Yeah.
Tactics will take away the need, or hard skills will take away a lot of the need for tactics.
Right.
But they will not practice. They will not fix stuff.
Yeah.
So that's why most of the advanced classes that people get are tactics classes.
Yeah.
They're not hard skills classes.
My advanced CCW class, it's a EDC-V. So the whole second half of the day is coming out of a vehicle with your EDC gun out of the concealed carry position. But the first half is basically shooting bullseyes. Because if you can't shoot that, there's no way I'm letting you jump out of a car shooting. No way.
Do you have them jumping out of cars?
No, we don't have jumping out of cars, but one of the things we do is we talk to people about what we call learned reactions. And we're programmed for virtually everything we do in life. We programmed ourselves to do things a certain way. Where did 95% of the general public shoot?
Range.
You ask them what safe direction is, what do they tell you?
Downrange.
Downrange.
Because the guy told me.
That's a lot of real estate.
Yeah.
The street's not like that.
No.
We asked them the question, what's the safe direction on the street?
Right.
It's all dependent.
What's the safe direction in your house? Nothing's bulletproof. You're going to be handling a loaded gun. You've programmed yourself to handle that gun a certain way on the range, keeping it down.
100%.
That's not the street. You can't do that.
Yeah.
Hey, do you belong to an association, a club, or an organization wrestling with their marketing? Most organizations waste a lot of money on marketing because it's so tough managing everything. Website, social media, e-commerce, email, and the list goes on. Leave frustration behind with Sage Tree's fractional marketing department services. They take care of everything: planning, developing, advertising, and a whole lot more. Getting started is real easy. Visit sagetree.com and click on the schedule an appointment button. That's sagetree.com and click on the schedule a call button today. Sitting here with Bill and Paul, talk from 2A Firearms Training. So what, either one of you, tips for people wanting to get their CCWs? What do they need to come in with?
Well, getting the CCW is pretty straightforward. You just got to go through the process. The thing that will help them get the most out of their CCW training is be familiar with your gun. Practice with your gun before you come to the class.
Right.
That way, we have more time to develop you as a shooter than if you're totally unfamiliar with that gun and we're having to take you from stage one, never touched a gun before.
Right.
So
think of it this way: if you're going to get a driver's license,
You take it.
you don't walk to the town and have somebody bring you a car.
Show up and sit in the car for the first time.
Yeah, for the very first time. I mean, so let me ask you this: what would you guys, because I know you must think about this on a regular basis. What do you think you need to do to get that person to come back for additional training? What's that motivate? There's got to be a motivator of some kind.
It's baffling that it can take 6 months to a year to get your CCW, which gives them so much time to get some lessons and learn about their firearm and shoot.
Yeah.
But they don't. And this is, again, where Bill and I have these conversations. 95% of the people don't even come back and take a private. And so we're trying to figure that out. The big question is, how do we motivate people? And I think it comes down to, how we teach it in the classroom. We have to bring this home to their home and make them realize that they're loading and unloading their firearm now, not on a range where it's safe, but they're doing it, in their home where it could be a bedroom or whatnot, where their children are next door.
Yeah.
And try to find a way to reach into their heart and their soul with their family.
Yeah. Oh, I had somebody tell me one time that they says that they were going to buy a gun and they wanted to get a concealed carry. And I says, cool. He says, we ought to go to the range together. He goes, oh, no. I want to get my CCW first.
I get that all the time.
Because they don't know.
Oh, I'll take your class after I get my CCW.
Yeah.
I'm like, wait, what? So, huh?
I ask the students, have you really talked to your family about this? Because, when you get married, you don't have that talk about sex. It's kind of
Right.
obvious we're not doing that.
Right.
Have you talked to your family? They say, oh, yeah, I've talked to my family. And I'll look and say, no, you haven't. You haven't told them every time you put that gun on, you leave your house exponentially. It's higher that you're either going to die or go to jail today.
Yeah.
And how would you like it if your wife put some sort of stress on you that way? Leaving your house every day, do you have the conversation with your family that you need to do training, you need to invest money in equipment and ammunition and training? And I try to reach into the gut strings of them.
Is that when their eyeballs get real big?
That's when they start looking down going, oh, I got to spend money. And
Yeah, isn't that funny? They'll spend all the money on a weapon, but then they don't want to train on it. That's like buying a very expensive car, but not getting any.
Well, that's one of my other bugbears is they go out and buy a gun. No experience, don't know. I'm getting a CCW permit, I need a gun. So they go out and they buy a gun. And it's the wrong gun for them.
Well, of course.
It doesn't work for them. They can't shoot it well. Doesn't fit their hand properly. They can't operate it.
Mm-hmm.
And then they're like, well, what do I do with it? The answer is, you're going to spend $700
Easy.
on a gun, easy. Go take a lesson with an instructor. I don't care if it's me.
Right.
Take a lesson with an instructor and tell them specifically, I want to help choosing a gun. What I do with the guys, we'll do an hour with them. We'll spend half an hour. We use Iron Sight's range up in Oceanside because they have literally everything that you could buy for rent. Mm-hmm. And we'll go in there and we'll try a bunch of guns in their hand. We'll make sure they fit. We make sure they can operate them. And then it comes down to personal preference, then, and we'll take a couple of them out in the range and we'll have them shoot them.
Yeah, 100%.
We're not teaching them a whole, we're just getting them comfortable using the gun.
it wasn't like that during COVID because people were showing up with whatever because there were no guns, if you remember.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, I mean,
So
I owned a gun store during COVID. So people would come in and just be like, I need a gun. Well, what do you want? I don't care. Just I need a gun. I'm like, ooh, yikes.
That was the great Smith & Wesson Shield pandemic.
Yeah.
Where
Yeah.
everybody bought Smith & Wesson Shield,
Oh,
and
yeah.
now everybody hates it.
Yeah.
I liked your question, though. It's about training. We've got to get these people to understand that, car accidents and knife accidents, there's lots of different accidents in the world. You have an accident with a firearm.
You're in trouble.
Usually it's a lot of blood comes out of your body or you die. And that's something that your family, again, going back to that.
Well,
really-
and not only that, one of ours, where is it?
I knew we were going with this. Insurance.
Insurance.
Yeah.
I mean, why in good God's name wouldn't you get insurance to, when you're carrying a gun in the event something?
That should mentally be a checkbox in getting the
Well, you got
CCW.
insurance when you drive a car.
Yeah.
Now, granted, you have to.
Right.
And there's another thing. If the government's going to force you to do something, those are the kinds of things that they should force.
Well, they're also trying to write up now. They are trying to put out there that they're trying to put out a requirement to have self-defense insurance. If you're gonna.
Yeah, that's
permit.
all. I can't remember what bill that is.
Yeah, I don't
they
recall
got in the
either.
works.
But yeah, that might be coming down the pike at some point.
I'm not against that. I have CCW insurance or self-protection insurance, I should say. And I think that's a great idea. Even if I don't carry a gun that day, what happens if I punch somebody and he falls down and dies? Yeah. I'm still on the hook. I'm
it's
still
not
on the
all
hook.
gun related. I mean,
No,
it's
not at all. Yeah.
We all carry that insurance.
Yeah.
You're
Absolutely.
a fool not to.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
Absolutely.
without a shadow of a doubt. Not to change that, but there's an insurance you can buy. Say you like to go to the desert, and you get out there and you roll your buggy and you have to come in.
Exactly.
That's a $10,000 helicopter flight. Mm-hmm. But for $100 and something, you can be covered and it won't cost you anything.
Yeah.
And 90% of the people that go out there don't have that insurance.
Yeah.
Well, the thing is, we offer it up to them. We use USCCA.
Yeah,
we
that's
offer
what I have
that
as
up
well.
in the classes. We
Yeah.
give them the brochures for it. And the way I put it to them is, why do you have car insurance?
Right.
It's not, I don't have car insurance because if I crash my car, I can't replace it. I have car insurance in case I cause a catastrophic injury to somebody else, and it's
Yeah.
going to cost me
That's right.
life-changing money. Why do I have earthquake insurance?
Right.
Because that's a catastrophic loss that's going to cost me
And
life-changing
if
money.
you don't think shooting someone is
Shooting
catastrophic,
someone is a
Yeah.
catastrophic
Shoot somebody,
life-changing
you'll
money.
find out.
yeah.
Yeah,
There you go. Write a book.
Yeah, right.
Life-changing money right there.
yeah. That's what you got to put it to them. It's life-changing money if you
Yeah.
use this gun. 'Cause
Well,
it
not
will
only that,
cost you money.
life-changing just life.
Yeah.
Imagine how often you're going to be in court. You'll probably go to jail even if you were in the right, you'll probably go to jail, spend the night there until they figure
And
everything
then all
out.
of a sudden you hear, gosh, I should have bought that insurance.
Yeah.
Let's be a little
and then-
proactive, not reactive.
Let's be honest. I mean, people who don't have that insurance, they shoot somebody in a totally justified shooting. They don't know what to do next. They call, who knows? They don't have anyone to call. They just get tossed in the legal system and figure it out.
It's crazy. Absolutely crazy.
Yeah, and that legal system sucks. I do consulting and specialist witness for homicides that involve guns.
Schwartz is listening live. He's texting me about the show right now.
What's he saying?
He said, "You're never gonna punch someone hard enough to knock them down."
Who said that?
Schwartz.
Who, am I going to have to punch him?
Yeah,
I'm not
somebody.
punching.
No,
Wouldn't be me.
but he's just texting me. He's a funny guy.
Yeah. He texted me. Must not like me.
There's a lot of facets towards the firearms people don't think of, and it's a shame that they buy a gun. How do they store it? They have
Yeah.
a safe. They can't even bring it home properly. So from training to everything we've talked about the last
Lock
20
it up.
minutes,
No, I don't want to lock it up.
And that's one thing about carry guns too. If you ever see people pull out a carry gun, you're like, how much lint is built up in that sucker? You know, when's the last time this left the holster? Well, when did I qualify last?
Oh, my
We
God.
get that. It's
Yeah.
like
Absolutely.
we tell them, if your life depends on it, you clean it every time you shoot it. And if you don't shoot it and you're carrying it, you clean it every 30 days.
Yeah.
Even
Yeah.
if you didn't
Just
shoot
do
it.
it.
Because it's full of
20-minute
sweat, lint,
exercise.
dust.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
And you don't have to take it apart.
Yes, you do.
Yeah, and that's one reason why I won't carry a carry gun with any kind of ports in the slide or any kind of red dot. And I'm just gonna be honest, like those things are just tractants for dirt, sweat,
What'd you
water.
talk about last week? A little piece of lint falling down.
Yeah, we had a guy with an SRO, super high speed. Within 15 minutes, something dropped in front of the emitter, and the red dot was dead. It was on. You could see that it was on, but it would no longer project onto the screen. Within 15 minutes, his super expensive red dot, and if that's your life-saving red dot, ooh, good luck.
I have a question for you, Bill and Paul. Whoever wants to speak up. Do you have a memorable story from one of your students?
We got another hour.
Yeah. That's
Now they're not going to talk.
I'll give you a quick one, okay? We send out an email. When you arrive at the class, all guns need to be completely unloaded, locked in a case. The number of times, because we don't let them, we just tell them, put the case down, unlock it.
Mm-hmm.
We check the gun. We make sure it's unloaded.
Sure.
The number of times, no mag, I rack the slide and a round comes out.
Oh yeah,
I wondered where that
so
went.
often.
yeah.
It's an
That's
interesting
like-
gauge. We send it out 2 days before the class with instructions. Leave your ammo in the car. Bring your unloaded firearms locked in a container to the classroom. And when they don't do it, we get a read on these people before they even sit down to say, who is this person? They can't read.
What do
a
they
letter.
say when that happens?
Oopsie.
Well, I asked you, do you have any ammunition on you? No, I'm not sure. So that means you
Yeah.
don't know.
Yeah.
But we told you to check. We tell them to have their firearms cleaned and prepared before the shoot qualification. Otherwise, we might not be able to pass you with it if it's unsafe.
Right.
And they're dry. So when we're doing our safety check on the firearms, we're learning about the student, how they're transporting it. Is the
Yeah.
gun safe and clean? Has it been lubricated?
Just their general gun
or
knowledge.
you get the opposite of guys that you got to handle it and it's dripping wet.
Yeah.
He thinks it's lubricated. So
yeah, it's like within the first 10 minutes of any class, I already know who my problem
Yeah.
children are. Going.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can.
Yeah.
That's one.
Yeah.
I know. Yeah, just from that inspection of the firearm.
And to
how
think they
bring
send it out an instruction on an extremely
Detailed.
important, detailed.
We've written it and rewritten it probably 6-7 times because we always keep coming up with another thing. Do not park in the gun range parking lot. Park in our lot next door. It says that.
and
And
where do
they
they
still
park?
park in the gun.
Park next door at the gun range.
So the other one is, especially the renewals. They turn up. How many guns you got today? One. Is it unloaded? Well, no, I'm wearing it. Didn't you get the email?
Oh yeah, is that what that meant?
I'm like, okay, go back to your car and unload it. Why can't I unload it in here? Because if you discharge it in here, that's my problem.
Right.
You discharge it in your car, that's your problem. So I bring it unloaded.
Yeah.
We do
That's
got to
pretty
give
good.
a shout out, though. There's a good segment of students that come to the class. They are prepared. Their guns
Right.
are correctly stored.
It's not
Yeah.
everybody.
And we
I'm-
respect that and really appreciate it.
It's
as
the squeaky
instructors.
wheel that gets the grease, right? We're not talking about everyone in general.
So for people that are interested in either courses or private training, how do they reach out to you guys?
They can go to our website, which is the number 2, letters AFTNG.com, or they can call us at 737-8662.
Hey, have you been
that a
keeping your guns clean? Have another Twinkie. And lubricated the way you should? Well, if you've been procrastinating because cleaning your guns with a traditional product is smelly, a pain in the rear, then you should use Seal One. Seal One is the one product that cleans, lubricates, protects your firearm. Clean your guns faster, easier, safer with Seal One. No more smelling like gas. Enjoy the confidence and peace of mind knowing your guns are protected with the best. Buy some seal1.com now. All right. It's time, folks. We've got Sam the Gunman. You guys are aware of Sam, right? Smartest kid on the planet when it comes to gun trivia. How you doing, Sam?
I'm well. How are you guys?
Doing good, doing good. Got a full house today. And Alicia is going to, she's already said that you got this one.
No pressure, Sam, but I think you got it.
Okay, let's let her rip, Tater Chip.
All right. Sam, you ready?
Yeah, let's have it.
All right. So our question today comes from Dan, and he's from Dallas. And his question is, what is the name of the first commercially successful semi-automatic pistol?
Dan from Dallas. Thanks very much for calling in. Interesting city, Dallas. Well, two cities, Dallas, Fort Worth. What was the first commercially successful self-loading handgun?
Semi-automatic.
Semi-automatic. Okay. What was the first commercially successful semi-automatic pistol? Now, this is, I like questions that are worded this way because, as I've said before on the show, there are a lot of different firsts of the same kind. Like it'll often be very different between what was the very first X versus what was the first successful X, or what was the first mass-produced, or whatever. But in this case, what is generally recognized as the first commercially successful semi-automatic pistol is the Borchardt C93, designed by Hugo Borchardt. The basic lock work, the short recoil toggle locked action, would later be refined and perfected by Georg Luger at the same company.
You got it. That's it. Exactly it.
As
You
if
were
there
right.
was a surprise.
Right.
There.
Exactly.
Yeah.
All right. So you absolutely got it correct. And just full context, here's the answer that we had, which is just more info, as you already stated. So the Borchardt C93, designed by the American engineer Hugo Borchardt and introduced in 1893, is considered a significant milestone in firearm history as one of the first commercially successful semi-automatic pistols. Featuring an 8-round detachable box magazine located in front of the trigger, and introduced a new era in handgun design. Despite its relatively small production numbers, with approximately 3,000 units made, the Borchardt C93's innovative mechanism and design left a lasting impact on future firearm developments.
Very good.
That's it.
You got her, Sam.
It's sort of an interesting pistol. I encourage everyone to go to go search up and look at pictures of it, because it really does not quite match the form factor we're expecting. Most of the action is kind of above the wrist as the shooter holds it, and the grip itself is vertical for the stacking of the rounds in the magazine. So it was kind of unwieldy even compared to revolvers at the time. But when DWM executives went back to Hugo Borchardt and they said, "This is great, can you perfect this?" He said, "No, it's already fine. I'm not going to redesign it."
Clock.
And so they went, okay. And they went to his understudy, Georg Luger, and they said, "Hey, can you fix it?" And he said, "Oh yeah, I can make it much better." And he was a young, bright-eyed, bushy-tailed engineer at the time, so he was very eager to prove himself to, well, not young, but younger. And he was very eager to prove himself to the executives. So he went, "Yeah, absolutely, I can perfect this." And so everyone remembers the Luger and the 9mm Luger, but not a lot of people remember Hugo Borchardt. So I'll tell you who really won there.
You're right.
Very
That's it.
good.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Just a well of knowledge.
Yep.
It never ends.
Wealth of knowledge. Absolutely.
Yeah.
All right.
Maybe one of these days I'll come up with them to stump him. What gun did I carry today?
Yeah, exactly. Well, it's funny, Sam. I'm reading that. God, I can't think of the name of the book.
Well, wait a minute. I want to try and guess this. What car do you drive?
I drive a Toyota CHR.
You carried a Glock 19.
Nope. Gotcha, Sam. 43X.
I was close.
You were close.
You were close.
Yeah.
I got the right brand.
Yep.
I didn't know you guys could get 43Xs in California.
Oh, everything's available with the right price.
Right.
Pay the California tax.
They're not on the roster, but it's a nudge, nudge, wink, wink kind of situation.
Well, you can do PPTs and stuff like that. So if someone already had it, they can sell it within the state.
Yeah.
Or if they moved in with it, or sometimes law enforcement gets rid of stuff or something like that.
But you're paying 2 to 3 times retail.
Yeah, the California tax. You'll pay, $1,200 for a $500 gun.
Right.
Yep.
Exactly.
All right, Sam,
Well,
my turn.
I like my 43X. It's a good choice.
Yeah, I agree.
All right, Sam, my turn. What am I carrying?
What do you drive?
A mom minivan.
Hey.
Toyota minivan.
Hey, I'm looking for a minivan.
Oh.
Just saying.
Well, I have windows.
Is the Springfield Hellcat on the roster?
Yes,
is.
It is.
Okay, I'm torn between that and a Smith & Wesson Shield.
Well,
how close am I?
I think you got it.
No, he actually doesn't. Normally he would. Normally it is a Shield. I have
wait
not.
a minute. Aren't you buying a Hellcat?
At some point, I am, but it's new on the roster. I haven't taken the time or the money to get one yet. It is on my to-do list. I normally do carry a Shield because that's what I had back when the roster only had really a good carry gun being the Shield. However, today I do have my Glock 26,
There you go.
which is not my
It's a
normal
classic.
carry.
Yeah,
Yep.
kicking it old school.
Excellent.
This
Wait,
is
Sam.
not coming from a priori knowledge or some magical psychic ability. It's just I worked at a gun store for like 3 years, so I kind of know what personality types carry what.
Sam, I'm gonna guess yours.
Okay.
A Colt Single Action Army.
Ooh, no. Sorry.
He wishes.
What is it?
In the warmer months, I carry a Glock 43X. I like it.
Yeah.
It works fine for me. And in the colder months, I switched to my Chiappa Rhino 4-inch.
Oh, interesting. Huh.
So you never would have guessed that. Huh?
No, I would have never guessed anyone carries that gun.
And what do you drive?
For the record, I drive a 2004 Volvo S80.
That's the Rhino.
Yeah, that's the Rhino speaking right there.
That's the Rhino talking.
That is not the Glock. That's the Rhino. Solid.
That is so cool. Very good, my friend. Very good indeed.
So, Sam, do you have any blog posts coming up?
Yeah.
I've got one coming up tomorrow. Super secret. Can't wait to talk about it next week.
All right. That's perfect. All right, buddy. Well, hey, enjoy the rest of your day, and we'll be talking to you.
Hey, likewise. Thanks very much for having me on, as always, and thanks very much, everyone, for listening.
Our pleasure.
Thank you,
By the
Sam.
way, it's 9 o'clock back there. Sorry about that. I guess it's not
No worries.
daytime anymore. But all right, guys, as always, it's a blast having you in. Give your website out one more time.
Number 2, aftng.com.
How far out are you for training?
We're right down central San Diego.
No, I
We're
mean,
on Balboa
2 weeks
Avenue.
out, 3 weeks out, 4 weeks
How far are you
out.
booked?
No,
6 months out.
We run 2 CCW classes every week.
Okay, so,
Wow.
So there's
room.
plenty of training.
no waiting. Can you? All right, very good. Anything else? You good? Anything from you, Sunshine? Thanks for all the cholesterol jammers.
You're welcome. I was wanting to say at the shoot on Friday. One thing, I don't know if Lee, did you shoot anything that was from Fallbrook? Because Fallbrook Firearms brought out a bunch of some newly rostered guns, some less popular, so therefore not as available to rent and borrow and shoot. And I got to shoot a Staccato for the first time. That was pretty exciting. They're not rostered. I don't know that they'll ever comply. I doubt they ever will. But it's always been like, I want to try it someday, and I got to do that on Friday. That was
And
pretty
what'd you
rad.
like about it?
Well,
Nothing.
it's more of a competition gun. I mean, it's built. It's not built for everyday carry. It's really smooth. It's nice to shoot. It's got a good weight balance to it. It shot really well, and the cycling, the recoil on it was really comfortable. I liked it a lot. And it was very comfortable.
Would you buy it?
If I had a unlimited funds, absolutely.
It's interesting you mentioned that one. I actually saw one for the first time last week in a CCW
Oh, yeah?
class. Guy brought one in.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
So what did you shoot?
My own guns.
Yeah.
Yeah. I shot an Echelon though. The
Oh, yeah,
Springfield
yeah.
Echelon. I
Yeah.
had that. It's a fun gun.
All right. Sounds like a plan. All right, folks. You get a chance, join San Diego County Gun Owners. It's only $10 a month. Or if you're big time, you can get a 10 ringer for $100 a month. I recommend you go online and just have them take money out of your credit card once a month. That way you don't have to fool with it. You don't have to forget. Because groups like San Diego County Gun Owners is what's going to keep us safe, along with training companies like these guys as well. I mean, we've got to fight the fight. We have to do it as a unit. We can't do it individually. So that's all I can say. Join. Don't forget Gun Prom's coming up. That's going to be an absolute blast.
And we'll all be there, right?
Yeah, oh, yeah,
All of us,
absolutely.
yeah.
So everybody get online, do a little casino, go out to your casinos, do some practicing, get good at it, because you might win something. And we're looking for 40 people that would like to get table sponsorships. You'll get all that information right online.
Thanks for watching this episode from Gun Owners Radio. If you're watching mainstream media, you're not getting the truth about guns and the Second Amendment. Gun Owners Radio is the easiest way to stay on top of the Second Amendment fight, the fight for your self-defense rights. You can watch our live stream on YouTube every Sunday from 4 to 6 p.m. California time, or if you're in San Diego, AM 1170, FM 96.1, The Answer. We're also available on your favorite podcast platform. Just do a search for Gun Owners Radio and you'll find our show. Don't forget to support our sponsors. Click on the links in the show notes and support the businesses that support your Second Amendment rights. Like and subscribe to help defend and restore the Second Amendment, not just in California, but across the country.